Raider Nation, what's going on? It's Mitchell Renz here, host of the Raiders Report, and in this cut, we're going to be breaking down at pick 98 and at pick 99 for the Las Vegas Raiders. The first pick here at 98 was Caleb Rodgers, offensive lineman from Texas Tech, super versatile player. I'll break down what he's going to be able to bring to the table here in a moment. Also, the Raiders ended up going with offensive tackle from William & Mary, Charles Grant. The Raiders clearly value the trenches, and I think that this is a good value pick here for the silver and black, considering the fact that you're looking at guys that got some upside in Charles Grant and a lot of versatility in Caleb Rodgers. But here's the number one thing that people are going to talk about from this pick, and it's not either of these guys. It's the fact that the Las Vegas Raiders passed on Shedeur Sanders when they had two picks at 98 and they had another pick at 99. And I think it just clearly goes to show that NFL teams are scared of Sanders because of what let's just be real, the baggage that he comes along with. But like, if Tom Brady, your mentor, the guy that apparently knows you better than everybody, the guy that apparently texts you after every single football game, if the Raiders are still passing on you, and if Dylan Gabriel goes in front of you, I have no idea when Shedeur Sanders is going to get drafted, and I can't believe that he has fallen this far. So you know what? The question that I want to ask the nation is this. Who the hell is going to draft Shedeur Sanders? Because I don't know if it's the Raiders. You got to pick 108, and you got pick 135 in the fourth round. No picks in the fifth, 3 in the sixth, 1 in the seventh. I did not think that Shedeur was going to go in round 1. I never thought that he was going to slide this far down. And I'm not going to sit up here and take a victory lap, quite frankly. I think people that are doing that for Shedeur, you can go F yourself. I mean, this is a terrible day for him. You always want to have a good day, especially when you're a young man trying to fulfill your dream. But I think it's clear. Shedeur rubbed a lot of people the wrong way with his interviews, and that's clear as day to me. So for the Raiders, let's talk about the players that they actually went out and got. First guy I want to discuss here is Caleb Rodgers, again, an offensive lineman that our chat sports team actually had the opportunity to talk to at the Big 12 Pro Day, and somebody told me he was a super, super nice guy at 6'4", 312 pounds. If you're looking for some versatility, you're going to be able to get a lot of versatility here with Caleb Rodgers, somebody that has played left tackle, somebody that has played also left guard, somebody that has played right guard, somebody that has played right tackle. He was a team captain at Texas Tech where he played 4,200 snaps. Definitely a little bit of a limited athlete, definitely not a mauler, but the Raiders held a top 30 visit with him. And this team does really, truly value relationships, and they value players that are captains, that are great leaders in a locker room, and that's what Caleb Rodgers was a team captain, had played 4 years at Tech where he was able to start for 4 straight seasons. The Athletics' Dane Brugler has this to say: Rodgers needs continued technical refinement with his hands and posture, especially inside at guard, but his blend of foot quickness, play strength, and competitive toughness create optimism for his pro transition. He projects as a versatile backup with spot starter potential. When you look at this Raiders offensive line, I'm going to be honest with you. The Caleb Rodgers pick is really, really, really bad news for Thayer Munford. I also think that it could potentially be, a Dylan Parham replacement in the future. Reminder, Parham's, going in on the last year of his contract, and I don't really think it's going to be something that they bring back. I think Caleb Rodgers could be a potential Dylan Parham replacement in the year of 2026. The other pick that the Raiders made in round 3 at 99, Charles Grant, offensive tackle from William & Mary. I do like Grant more than I like Rodgers. I also think that Grant's upside is much more, 6'4", 309 pounds. Plenty of starting experience going up against lesser competition. But what I love about Grant is his fit here with Chip Kelly. And if you're the Raiders, you know that Kelly is going to run a lot of zone. And because you know that he's going to run a lot of zone, that is a good fit for what he brings to the table. Also, the Raiders had a top 30 visit and met with Charles Grant at the Combine. Elite length, a 7-foot wingspan, footwork, body control, also high school wrestling background. Also has a high school wrestling background, Jackson Powers Johnson. According to the Athletics' Dane Brugler, Grant is a nimble big man with outstanding range, length, and movement twitch, but he needs to develop better patience and muscle mass to match up with NFL competition. He has the traits of a future NFL starter and projects best in a zone-heavy offense, similar in a way to Spencer Burford. Today's show is sponsored by Mando, and I know this. There were some Raiders fans that were sweating, wondering, are the Raiders going to go out and get Shedeur Sanders? Heck, there's still some Raiders fans probably sweating, not understanding why Shedeur Sanders is still on the board. I got to show some love, though, to Mando, because even if I am sweating a little bit, at least I don't stink. At least I sure hope not. You can control body odor anywhere with Mando. New customers get $5 off a starter pack with our exclusive code. That equates to over 40% off your starter pack. Use code chat at shopmando.com. That's shopmando.com. Spring is in the air and it's warming up, which means Chuck walks, Alex date night, and me trying to get ready for my wedding. Did you guys know that women actually care more about the way that you smell than the way that you look? It's a true story. And as a special offer for our listeners, new customers, they're going to get $5 off a starter pack with our exclusive code. That equates to over 40% off your starter pack. So use code chat at shopmando.com. That's shopmando.com. Please support our show. Tell them that we sent you. Smell fresher, stay drier, boost your confidence from head to toe with Mando. I'll also say this, if you want to know some places that you can use it, Aggressive Master Raider, I'm looking at you. You can use this on your feet, on your belly buttons, your balls, your grundle, your pits, your packages, butt cracks. If it stinks, you can put Mando on it because it's a whole body deodorant. You could honestly say Mando is as versatile as Caleb Rodgers. Left tackle, left guard, right tackle, right guard. 4 years of experience. That sounds like Mando to me. So far, here are the Raiders selections. Ashton, Jeanty goes in round 1 at pick number 6. Bech, one of the best blocking wide receivers in this year's class, goes off the board at 58 from TCU. Darien Porter, cornerback from Iowa State. Long, lanky, super athletic young man right there, goes off the board at 68. Then, Caleb Rodgers, relationship, top 30 visit, ends up going to the Raiders there at pick number 98. Charles Grant, another guy, top 30 visit, goes off the board from William and Mary. This Raiders organization clearly, and I mean clearly, values relationships. So for the Raiders to do what they're doing, and because of what we thought the relationship was with the Raiders and Shedeur, I think if you're a Raiders fan and they haven't gone the Sanders route, there's a clear reason of why they haven't gone that route. And it's because they are worried about what would be Shedeur Sanders on this roster. And I think that's the most truest way I can say it. I'll tell you this, though. If we wake up tomorrow and the Raiders go out and they get Shedeur Sanders, who, let's be honest, is the top player on the board. Like, in all honesty, if you're like, I want to go best player available, I think Shedeur Sanders is the best player available tomorrow. Maybe it's a pick that the Raiders are able to get at 107 or 108, excuse me. Let's also, though, real quick here, look at the remaining best players available on Downey's big board. You got Shedeur Sanders, Alec Manor. I think that's kind of an interesting one. Jack Sawyer, I can't believe he's still available. Jalen Royals, another really good player there. Cameron Williams was somebody that I thought that they could go with, but clearly they have Caleb Rodgers and Charles Grant in mind. Billy Bowman, I know, is a safety that this team did like a lot. A lot of speed there with Tutton. He ran the fastest 40 time out of all the running backs. Cam Scatterbo still up there on the board. Gunnar Helm. If the Raiders are really serious about potentially moving on from Michael Mayer, Gunnar Helm was a name that I was told, again, Steve Sarkisian connections with Pete Carroll do run really, truly deep. If you're looking for some linebackers out there, linebackers still in need. Danny Stutzman met with the Raiders at the NFL Combine. Bassa Barrett Carter is a player that I like. Chris Ball Jr., I actually think is maybe a little bit lower on Tom's board than I thought that he would actually be. Cody Simon, Ohio State, they also met with him at the NFL Combine. But I mean, wide receiver, some people might say that this could still be a need. If it was up to me out of all these guys, I know the Raiders met with Tez Johnson. If I had to guess which guy that they could go with at a receiver, watch out for Ricky White, probably a little bit later on, like around 7 type of player. Maybe he's one of those 213, 215 picks, really good special teams value. Not a top 30 visit, but he did visit with the Raiders. Reminder, when you are a local visit, he's in Las Vegas. Doesn't count as a top 30. I do know the Raiders like him. Again, he blocked like 4 punts or something like that. Really good special teams player. At safety, which I will still say is a need for this team. Billy Bowman Jr., I would say, is clearly the number one safety still available. Lathan Ransom got some ties at Ohio State. Maybe Chip Kelly values that young man right there. But you went 2 offensive linemen late at 98 and 99. You ended up going with Jack Bech earlier in round 2. I'll tell you what, I think that this has been a really good Raiders draft. Probably one of my favorite Raiders drafts that we've had in quite some time. If you don't already know, if you're not subscribed, what the hell are you doing? Hit that subscribe button, turn on those notifications. The draft for today, it's over. Shedeur Sanders did not go on day 2. Shedeur Sanders is going to be a day 3 pick in the NFL draft. Luckily for y'all, we're going to be live tomorrow. Make sure you're subscribed. Make sure those notifications are turned on. We will go live an hour before the NFL draft, okay? Which I believe is, what? It starts at noon tomorrow? So we're going live at 11 a.m. Eastern time, 8 a.m. Pacific. The only way that show is going to work is if y'all wake up, because the best part of waking up is a little bit of Raiders Report in your cup, and we're going to have a lot of stuff flowing in our cup. Subscribe, noties. I'm going to get you another video before I go home tonight, and I'm going to get you another video bright and early tomorrow. Make sure you're ready. Shedeur Sanders still on the board. Effing wild, man.